And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Up first, looking at the thunderstorm outlook for today, for Friday. Thunderstorms occurring here the most across the central interior in the red shaded area here out to about the lower to mid Yukon River Valley areas, with isolated activity up toward the Brooks Range, southwestward into the northern Kuskokwim Valley, western Alaska Range area, and the extreme northern Susitna Valley. And then moving on to the outlook for tomorrow. Three main areas, the largest here over the southwest part of the state, extending down toward Dillingham and Togiak, and also Matanuska Valley, just north of Anchorage, Palmer, maybe Wasilla and the Talkeetna Mountains right on up into the eastern Alaska Range. Another area there for the Koyukuk Valley to the southern slopes of the Brooks Range. And again, this, no legend on here, but this is signifying isolated thunderstorm activity. And then for Sunday, pretty good widespread area here of isolated thunderstorms extending all the way down across the Kenai Peninsula, Cook Inlet, down to Kamishak Bay, northern Bristol Bay, right up across the western Alaska Range, Kuskokwim Valley, cutting up across the mid-Yukon River there, all the way up to the eastern Brooks Range area and most of the Copper River Basin. And from there, looking at the fire danger forecast for tomorrow for Spruce, we've got a bigger area of extreme fire danger here over the Yukon Flats, extending down to the southwest there with very high fire danger right down to the Alaska Range. High to very high fire danger gradually expanding over the Susitna Valley tomorrow, as well as the western Kenai Peninsula to a lesser extent, and in the Copper River Basin as well. And from there, taking a look at the satellite vantage point here, pretty good system. Well, a more defined system here, not all that strong. Front pushing light rain and clouds in across the southeast coast today and cooler temperatures. A lot of sunshine here across south central Alaska into the Copper River Basin. Temperatures rising in the 60s to mid 70s in this area. And then you can see the thunderstorms here in the central interior from the Yukon around Dawson westward, across the Fairbanks area just north of Nenana, all the way out here to the Norton Sound area. Otherwise, north of that, some isolated thunderstorms there for the Brooks Range in the central areas. Otherwise, a lot of sunshine for the north slope, sunny skies all the way out to the central Arctic coast today. Not over the Bering Sea, not much going on. A system here over the Russian Far East that's staying out in that area. And a lot of disorganized clouds here over the southern Bering Sea. Really just a lack of storminess out there, as you can see on the chart here. Just a very weak system there south of the Russian coast. Light winds over most of the Bering Sea, creating low clouds, fog from the Bering Straits southward to the eastern Aleutians and extending westward. And again, the showers and thunderstorms along this trough with sunny warm conditions to the north there, all the way out to the Arctic coast. And rain here, pretty widespread area of light rain extending from Kodiak Island, although this whole area is shifting eastward, tapering off over Kodiak this afternoon. And up along the North Gulf Coast, just barely getting in toward Yakutat, heaviest along the central and south coast, lighter inland and to the north. And for tonight, a more steadier, a little bit heavier rain as that front pushes in. Again, heaviest amount central, southern, southeast coast, lighter up to the north, and some light rain for Yakutat. And then for the North Gulf Coast, it's variably cloudy with isolated thunderstorms and showers diminishing here throughout the evening hours and after midnight, with light winds continuing. Light winds for the Arctic coast could result in some low clouds and fog developing. Light winds continue, no change out over the Bering Sea. The only change, maybe a chance of some light precipitation just grazing Adak and Atka with that system down to the south. That shifts eastward tomorrow, spreading a chance of light rain into the eastern Aleutians, and that's about it. Otherwise, high pressure holding here over the Bering Sea, light winds, dry conditions, a lot of low clouds though, all the way up into the Chukchi Sea. Not much change in the interior. Again, isolated showers, thunderstorms developing here in the green shaded areas up to the Brooks Range, and maybe a little bit more widespread here over the eastern Copper River Basin areas, Wrangell Mountains up across the eastern Alaska Range, Northway Tok, and those areas. Otherwise sunny and warm. Tanana Valley, North Slope, and rain, southern southeast coast, scattered showers up to the north, And then for Sunday, a very weak trough here keeps it mostly cloudy with a few showers around the southeast coast during the day, but it'll be drier, but not all that sunny. Here, look for a better chance of thunderstorms developing on the Kenai Peninsula, up into the Talkeetna Mountains, Copper River Basin, possibly even Kodiak Island, and also over the western Alaska Range area. Otherwise, mostly sunny and warm elsewhere around the state. Chance of thunderstorms on the Brooks Range there. And the North Slope, no change to the Arctic coast, no change out over the Bering Sea, just a big H out there in the center of the ocean, and light winds and dry conditions with variably cloudy skies, and a fair amount of clearing possible for the eastern Aleutians, Alaska Peninsula, as well as the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta, mostly sunny up to the Seward Peninsula, maybe even St. Lawrence Island. Lows tonight, 30s for the North Slope and Arctic coast, 40s and 50s for the remainder of the state, and mostly in the lower 50s for the southeast coast. And then the highs tomorrow, upper 50s, lower 60s, southern panhandle, 65 to 72 up to the north, and temperatures in the 70s and lower 80s in the central interior down in toward McGrath and Nikolai. Also 75 to 85 for the Susitna Valley, and upper 60s to mid 70s for the Kenai Peninsula, 70s mid to upper for the Copper River Basin. Kodiak, lower 70s forecast for tomorrow, and 40s and lower 50s for the, or upper 40s and lower 50s for the southwest coast, and then the 40s for the Bering Sea and the Aleutians. Lows mid 50s for Kodiak after that very mild afternoon day tomorrow, and 50s across much of interior Alaska here. Chillier out toward the Arctic coast, down around freezing, and then the lower 50s for the southeast coast. Highs on Sunday, 80 to 85 over much of the central and eastern interior, cooling back to the 60s out toward the Bering Strait, or out toward the Bering Sea and Norton Sound here. A little cooler for Kodiak, mid 60s there. South central Alaska, highs 70 to 80, 75 to 80 for the Copper River Basin, and lower 60s southern southeast coast to near 70 up to the north.